Okay. Good evening, everyone. This is the Statement of Compliance with the Sunshine Law. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, and adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required by law. Specifically, the annual notice was emailed to the West Essex Tribune and the Star Ledger on January 2nd, 2024. The agenda and resolutions for the meeting are available on www.livingstonnj.org. Certain portions of this meeting may be closed to the public for purpose of personnel and/or other matters as outlined in the Sunshine Law. Decisions made and/or discussed in closed session will be made known to the public at a later time. Notice to members of the governing body and township staff: any use of electronic devices during this meeting shall be solely used for the purposes of township business, and any communications are subject to the Open Public Records Act. To the extent possible, this evening's Township of Livingston Council meeting will be live streamed via Facebook at www.facebook.com/Livingston Township, New Jersey, NJ. Questions or comments will also be accepted by emailing livcomments@livingstonnj.org by 4 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Each speaker should follow the rules of order in Livingston Code 2-15. Carolyn, roll call.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Boktani.
Here.
Vieira.
Present.
Klein.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Meinhardt.
Here.
Mayor Anthony.
Here. If we could all stand for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. In the moment of silence, we did lose Fred Pacini this week, who was not only a veteran who did obtain medals in his time in the service, but he also was an active member of the community in Unico and various organizations. So if you could keep his family in your prayers. Okay, we're up to the Essex County updates. I believe Eileen Fishman isn't here tonight. So we are up to the proclamations and presentations. We have one tonight, and we are celebrating the Ritz Diner on their 40th anniversary. We have a plaque up here. I'll read it, and then we could take a photo. And we also have our Commissioner, Pat Siebold, here, who also has a proclamation from the county. And Pat, I'll give you a microphone if you'd like to read that as well. Just, from personally, the Ritz to me is iconic. It's the place to go, to meet. I have meetings there. I deal with lawyers all the time, and they, basically they just come to the Ritz. If you don't know the Ritz, you don't know Livingston, basically. So I just think it's been a mainstay, a renowned, a great place. 40 years is amazing. I know my favorites, I don't know if the council wants to chime in, are the Marion salad, the matzo ball soup. And I just have a great time there. We have and I think to the person up here, we love the Ritz Diner. Is that correct, Ed?
Since I might be the closest living to the Ritz Diner where I can walk, Michael, I am a little closer than you, yes, just a little bit. But yes, it's been a mainstay in my house I've lived in town now for 28 and a half years, have fed many of meals of my kids, and when they come home, there's certainly a meal waiting for them. And since we're going with favorites, I will go with the Szechuan chicken over rice. Okay, so vegetable. Okay, that's mine. Since we're talking about our favorites. Oh, and the tuna fish. My wife loves the tuna fish. So.
There you go. Anyone with a favorite or comment?
I would just say they might live closer, but I've been going the longest. All right, because
Oh yeah, yes, grew up in town.
so well, not including like Pat Ippolito, but
Pat's waving over there.
Or
Pat, you win.
I'm just talking about the dais. On the dais here, I've been going the longest, and I grew up I always say to the kids in high school now, where do you guys hang out? We only hung out at the Ritz. That's the only place we ever went. So what we would do is we would do Ritz runs. And literally everyone, as soon as they got their driver's license, would get in the car and just do laps around the parking lot and run inside and eat some food and see who was hanging out in the Ritz. Maybe get into a fight in the parking lot. back at that time, it was like there were fights in the parking lots way back in the day, not me. Of course not. Of course not. Me, I'm a lover, not a fighter. Yeah, but it used to be it still is, but at that time there was nothing else that anyone would talk about or do. Every meal was at the Ritz, and everyone would just say, "What time are you going to the Ritz?" And we still feel that way. We still go there all the time. But for my high school years, there's nothing that I associate, with the more fondness in my heart than just being at the Ritz all night long with my friends. So thank you for making it that kind of special place for my childhood. Yep.
Hey, before Sean goes on, I have to just correct you for 1 second, because prior to the Ritz, I know it was before you, Marianne, came along, but prior to the Ritz, it was the Heritage Diner. And
I'm not
growing up,
He's
I
showing
went
his
there,
age.
I had gone to Heritage too, but I wasn't old enough to do that
that's
when I
my
was in high
point.
school.
He was in a neighboring town.
So growing up and going to Milburn High School, growing up in Short Hills, we would come with our Milburn varsity sports jackets and get into the fights at the Heritage Diner with the Livingston people. So I just want to
where the real
throw that out
rumbles
there.
took
I just want to
place.
throw that there as well. I know it was before your time, but also a fond memory of my growing up.
Deputy Mayor, I was waiting for you to say that Marion was at your bar mitzvah, because everybody seems to be at your bar
Everyone's
mitzvah.
at Ed's bar mitzvah.
But Marion and Dave, congratulations. I'm there once a week, actually. I find a quiet corner, and I get caught up on all my work that I have to do. Actually, my favorite the last couple of weeks has been the pastrami and corned beef with spicy mustard. But I've been going for that for the last couple of weeks. But the matzo ball soup and the pierogies are pretty good too, and the desserts. But congratulations again. And I think a couple of weeks ago, Pat and I were there together, and Pat actually saw how many people come in there that she knew, and she's like, "Michael, you do this every week?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "You got to call me more often. I'll go with you." But congratulations again, and for another 80 plus years.
Yeah, and I'll round up by saying that it's a default place. Whenever I say to somebody, "Hey, let's meet up in Livingston," we oftentimes don't discuss where. We know where. It has to be Ritz Diner. So it's a default go-to place for probably almost everybody, right? That's how fantastic the business is built. That's how fantastic the name you have created. Congratulations once again. It's a great honor to honor you as well. That's today. And my favorite, I'm a vegetarian. I mean, I do eat eggs, but it's no meat. But I go with waffles, I go with French toast, and any omelets that has veggies. So there you go. But amazing. Thank you.
It's great. Thanks, Kate. I wanted someone to go breakfast. Yeah, excellent, because the diner is everything. Okay, so this citation says, the mayor and the Township of Livingston council members are pleased to congratulate the Ritz Diner on their 40th anniversary. Founded in 1984 and serving the Livingston community for over 40 years, the Ritz is famous for its apple pie, as featured on diners, drive-ins, and dives, and the Marion salad. As a mainstay in the community where generations return year after year, the Ritz is a comfort spot to many. Thank you, George Mizuko, for being the heartbeat of the Ritz for 38 years, and congratulations, Marion and Dave, on your 40th anniversary. Pat, you want to read that before, and then we'll take a picture? Let me get you the mic. Where's the mic for Pat? It's below there.
All right, 1 second.
You want to hold this?
No, I can do it. I usually don't read proclamations, but this is really, really interesting, and things go full circle. First of all, I moved to Livingston in 1962, and I used to go to the Heritage Diner. I remember the Heritage Diner well, and now 40 years ago, the Ritz Diner was started by George Mizuko and Marion Feldman. They both managed the restaurant, but I believe that George Mizuko has retired now, correct? And now her son, David, who is here with her, manages the restaurant with her. And what's interesting is George Mizuko was known as the Bagel Man because people knew him from the Watson Bagel in Newark. And I remember as a kid, the Watson Bagel was on Watson Street. Then it moved to Clinton Place, and I used to go to the Watson Bagel with my father. And then years later, their grandson was my student at West Orange High School. So things do go full circle. Now, Marion Feldman escaped an uprising in Hungary in 1957 and came to the United States, learned English, and raised her family. And whereas many of the Ritz Diner patrons are known as regulars who camp out for breakfast, lunch, late afternoon snacks, dinner, late evening coffee, and really early morning cup of joe. And as was said before, the Ritz Diner is very well known for its apple pie, but I love its chocolate babka, I have to tell you. And I could go on and on about the Ritz Diner, but it epitomizes everything there is to love about a diner. So with that, I am really pleased to present this proclamation for a wonderful, wonderful feature here in Livingston that is so very important to our community.
May I? Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yay.
Okay, great. Again, congratulations. All right, I'd like to recognize our state senator is here, John McKeon. Hi, John. Good to see you. And our Assemblywoman Rosie Begoli is here. Hi, Rosie. Okay, we are up to, let's see, 2025 Essex County Community Development Block Grant Application, the CDBG public hearing. Russ, is this?
Read yourself from the public hearing? I'd like to open a public hearing for the Community Development Block Grant.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No, okay. No, not this one, Gene. No.
At this point, I'd like to close the public hearing.
Okay.
Second.
No,
Wait,
she's not, is she here for the public hearing? No, she's not.
Yeah, for the community.
Oh,
block
I'm
grant.
sorry, I'd like to close the public hearing for the Community Development Block Grant.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? No, okay. We're now up to the approval of the minutes.
I'd like to make a motion for the approval of the minutes for the November 25, 2024 regular and conference meeting
I'll
meetings.
second.
Second, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? No,
I'd
okay.
like to make a motion to open the meeting for public comment on agenda items only.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor? Yes. Any opposed? No, okay. Do you have something on the agenda?
Okay, so
Okay, so that would be the public comment. It'll be, yeah, it won't be long. All right, so on the public comment on agenda items, Mr. Ippolito? do you- No? Didn't Pat want to say something? Pat? Yeah, Pat.
Pat Ippolito, that's your turn.
This is on agenda item. Public comment on agenda items only. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Yeah. I'll let you go on. All right. Thank you, Pat.
And
We'll see
the,
you.
just for everyone's benefit, on the agenda is a resolution approving a grant application related to, it's an interesting procedure. The state makes special legislative appropriations, and then after it's sort of announced, you have to fill out a grant application for money that's already been awarded, and this is on the Little League field. So if anyone wants to know what the agenda item is.
Yep, it's
Thank you.
Resolution 24-271.
Thank you very much, Barry. And I just want, on behalf of Livingston Little League, I want to just say thank you to a few people. Thank you to Mike Vieira, who helped get the ball rolling, to my good friend, our County Commissioner, Joe D., who picked it up and carried the ball for us, and then handed it off to Rosie and to John. And the appropriation went through the state budget, and I have nothing but thanks for everyone who was involved. This is going to make a huge difference with our Little League program. The funds that we're going to use, that we're using, are going to help decrease our maintenance costs and allow more playability on those fields, because we intend to utilize them in the best way possible. And we've already begun to look at different projects and aspects, and it's our best effort that we're going forward to use the money wisely for the benefit of the children in town. And we thank everyone who's been involved with it. Councilmen, thank you all. And Rosie and John, I can't say enough how much we appreciate all your support and help, really. Thank you.
Mayor,
Thank you, Pat.
Mayor,
Yes.
usually I would pull it off the agenda so we could vote on it separately, but is it possible that I could just say a couple of words now?
Yeah, of
So
course.
we don't have to. Pat, I just want to say thank you to you. It was you who got the meeting going, and I remember sitting at Ritz Diner with you and Jimmy Rothenberger discussing the needs for the baseball field, and we sat there and you told me what your wish list was, and after that meeting, I ended up calling Commissioner Pat Siebold, and both of us ended up going over to talk to Joe DiVincenzo. And I will tell you that if it wasn't for you, Pat, it probably would have stopped right there. But Joe has a place in his heart for you. You were at the COVID Center every single day at Sears during COVID. Joe knew who you were, and when we told Joe what you wanted, Joe was like, we got to get this done. He said, you don't want county money because you know what? If we have county money, it opens the fields to anybody in the county. However, at that point, he calls and yells, get John McKean on the phone, get John McKean on the phone. And Senator McKean got on the phone right away to him, and Joe told him what he wanted. And Senator McKean was like, yeah, Joe, thank you, thank you, thank you. After the meeting, I called Senator McKean. I'm like, Senator, I don't think this is doable. We just got $1.5 million last year for a field, but I want to thank you, and I want to thank Assemblywoman Begoli for all you did to get the money, the $1.5 million for the baseball fields. If it wasn't for both of you pushing for it, maybe it would not have happened. So, you know, you guys really deserve a lot of credit. So thank you, Senator. Thank you, Assemblywoman. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Joe D. Thank you, Pat, and your entire baseball community. This is going to be really good. There hasn't been any money put into that baseball field in a very long time, and I think this is a great start. So congratulations, everybody. And again, thank you to the Senator and the Assemblywoman.
Great, thank you. John, do you want, no?
I'm happy to. I just have I'll comment from back here. First of all, it's an honor to be here.
Yes. You're down to 350, 345.
I'm sorry, I'm jumping in front of you too, I feel so bad. Listen, I'm so honored to be here, really, among friends, and you know, heroes don't wear capes, right? Always, there's one in the back that doesn't wear a cape. That's just an amazing person, and thank you for thousands of kids that have benefited because of all the great things that you do. And I'm gonna call you professor, because I know you teach at college as well. But to all of you, number one is, I've got this really cool shirt now that has the, now, you were talking about the fights at the diner before.
Sean
For the
was beating
record,
people up,
that was
John.
because you were all afraid to come to West Orange. That includes the kids from Milburn, too.
Yeah, the Milburn kids were definitely afraid to come to both high schools back then, so 100% agree.
But this might violate my West Orange code, but I will wear this proudly as far as being a part of Livingston. God bless you all. Happy holidays to everybody, and it's an honor to be here. And
Thank you, John.
my colleague is here standing next to me, I'm sure. And Alex and Colossus Gill, you know, was also part of the 2017 team that made this happen, too.
It's great, thank you, John.
No, I wanted to mention that we worked together to put the appropriation forward, but there's also co-sponsors on these bills that are important to mention, because with their support, we get these things through. So while you might need a Senate and an Assembly sponsor to get the resolution in, we also have co-sponsors that join us, and I want to thank our Assemblywoman Alex and Kujasosil, who's not here tonight, mention her, and we're a team in the 27th. So thank you for everything you're doing for Livingston. We'll continue working on that as well. Thank you.
All right, great, thank you, Rosa. And thank you, Pat, for all you do. I've been on the board with you forever, and I've seen what is it, John? Heroes don't wear capes? Or I love that, because I watch this guy, and he's a hero. First aid, he is a professor. He's amazing, and what he does on the Little League, the president of the Little League. With a lot, thank you. If you consider what I do, help. You're great, Pat. You run the show. So anyway, thank you. Anyone else on, let's see, public comment on agenda items?
I'd like to make a motion to close this section from public comment on agenda items only.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? No. Okay. We're getting close, Gene. Okay, we are now up to the final hearing on, Carolyn, you want to read this one?
Ordinance 31-2024, bond ordinance, amending bond ordinance number 26-2024, Department of Public Works.
Make a motion to open the meeting, public comment, or for comments on ordinance 31, 2024.
Second.
Second, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? No. Okay, so we are now open for the hearing on ordinance 31-2024.
Motion to close.
Okay.
Second.
Second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No, okay. Roll call on that?
Discussion.
Oh, motion to adopt.
Make a motion to adopt. Others.
Second.
Yeah.
Councilmember Boktani?
Yes.
Viera?
Yes.
Klein?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Meinhardt?
Yes.
Mayor Anthony?
Yes. Okay, we're up to the consent agenda for resolutions. By the way, we have no new ordinances tonight to be introduced. Consent agenda for resolutions. All matters listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda as part of the general orders. Is there anyone who wants anything removed?
Mayor, just if there was going to be a motion, there was in the conference, there was I believe, an understanding to amend Resolution 24-267, specifically as to pickleball fees, resident fee to go to $30 is the amendment, and non-resident to 300.
No,
So
25.
Mayor,
25, I'm
25,
sorry,
yeah.
25 and
25.
300.
So, Mayor, let's pull that resolution
So if one of you
out.
want to move to amend that.
Let's pull that resolution out, and then we'll vote on it separately after amendment. So move the
Okay.
consent agenda without that resolution.
Okay, so we'll read everyone other than that one.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, Carolyn? Go for it.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 24-266, certification of the 2023 annual audit. Resolution 24-268, corrective action plan. Resolution 24-269, authorization to cancel 2024 sewer budget appropriations. Resolution 24-270, awarding a professional services contract to LEW Environmental Services for performance of environmental and management services of lead testing of rental units. Resolution 24-271, authorizing the filing of a grant application with the NJDCA. Resolution 24-272, 2024 budget appropriation transfers. Resolution 24-273, authorizing the execution of the developers with A&M partnership relative to Block 107, Lot 8.011.
Make a motion to move those.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
She's going to, okay.
I am doing it. Councilmember Votani?
Yes.
Viera?
Yes.
Klein?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Meinhardt?
Yes.
Mayor Anthony?
Yes. Okay, the one
You
we
need-
pulled?
Go ahead. I think, as Mr. Lewis suggested, we need a motion to amend Resolution 24-267.
So I'll make a motion to amend Resolution 24-267 per our conversation in the conference agenda, changing pickleball rates for in-town residents to $20 and,
25.
$25, excuse me, and out-of-town residents to $300.
Is there a second? Yeah, did you get a second?
I second it.
Oh, sorry. Councilmember Votani?
Yes.
Viera?
Yes.
Klein?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Meinhardt?
Yes.
Mayor Anthony?
Yes.
And I need a motion to approve the resolution as amended.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution as amended.
Thank you.
Second.
Doctor. Second, all right. Roll call on that.
Councilmember Votani?
Yes.
Viera?
Yes.
Klein?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Meinhardt?
Yes.
Mayor Anthony?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion now to open the meeting to public portion on any subject with a 3-minute time limit.
Second.
Second, okay, any opposed? No? All in favor, good. All right, Gene, we are up to public comment.
First of all, I'm glad to hear that you can have a different fee for residents and non-residents, because that's one of the issues that I've been making. I was a little distressed that I stopped by the manager's office and was told not to come to the earlier meeting because it was closed, but to come, and I'd be first on this because I have to go somewhere else and I'm going to be late. It's okay. I've been coming to you since the beginning of July, asking you to check about what other towns are doing to make sure that we're not infringing on the law in any way about demonstrations. There have occasionally been a couple of problems, and I'd like to know how many towns you contact. I wrote a letter to the manager, but I haven't heard back. I want to know how many towns you contacted, what they got back to you about, and what progress have you made in terms of my questions. No, you can answer me on your time.
Oh, yeah. No, so in terms of contacting, it's generally most all the towns have their codes available. So we've researched, we've probably looked at 50 towns, probably found 10 to 15 that have some regulation of demonstration type permits. And probably, I think I've specifically downloaded 5 or 6 of them that I thought were in line with what we're thinking.
And what progress have you made in terms of developing one for Livingston?
I have a draft, and we're evaluating the fee component of it. I know you pointed out that you believed, or you had some other lawyer who said you can't have different fees for residents and non-residents, but
Well, you
we're
can't,
certainly
your
looking into that.
lawyer said that, but I know you can because we pay taxes and the police are involved and their salary comes from my taxes. The people who come from out of town don't. So it's not fair to charge me versus someone who doesn't pay the taxes for their salary.
Well, that's certainly an issue we're looking into.
Well, could you tell me what time frame you have in mind?
I think when we get to, we can't move on an ordinance until January anyway, because it has to be introduced and then published in advance, so it certainly wouldn't be before the first meeting in January that we'd have an ordinance.
Could I
able to
ask that you
introduce.
notify me when you
Certainly, when we have a draft that we're going to put on the agenda, I'll make sure you get a copy, although it will be posted publicly.
And I
as well.
hope you won't drag your feet as you have in the past. As you know, I'm persistent, and I'm a little disturbed that it's an issue like this that shouldn't be a problem. I believe in being proactive because in Amsterdam, I don't want the same situation to happen here because we haven't made regulations that will prevent it.
Okay, thank you, Gene.
Thank you.
Mayor, I just want to say, I never gave an opinion on fees as it came to protests. I gave an opinion that we couldn't stop non-residents from protesting on our sidewalks, as our public
You
sidewalks.
said it was unconstitutional,
I
right?
never gave an opinion on fees as it related to protests. I gave an opinion that we couldn't stop non-residents from demonstrating on our sidewalks, as our public sidewalks.
I understood what you said, but I think if you check the minutes, it may not have been so easy to understand. What
Okay,
you
I
said.
apologize if I was unable to understand.
I apologize for misquoting you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Gene. We'll continue with public comment. Hi, Justin.
Hi, Mr. Mayor. Justin Albert, 56 Amherst Place. Two things. One, we noticed that the two lots have been raised next to ShopRite, and I think we're putting in 34 units where there were originally 2 units. And to a lot of people on the internet, it didn't really make a lot of sense to why we're doing this. Perhaps the CFO's interns could take a look at this, look at the real property, see how it was transferred over the course of time, reverse engineer what's being done, see how the real property, how the appreciated value of the real property is being realized and by whom, because that could really inform us how we move forward in developing this town as well. It would be interesting to track the work that's being done there and where the workers live, because as we're planning for growth, we're going to want to develop the workforce that is necessary to do the growth. And rather than all that money flowing right out of the community, you want it flowing back into the community. So we develop the institutional knowledge how to grow and build and develop. So if the CFO's interns could look into that, would certainly appreciate it. Point two, any update on seeing the pricing for miking and cameraing the conference room, so all the important work that we do back there can be witnessed by the public whom this council was elected to serve?
We priced that out.
We didn't price it out because until the council has made the policy decision to go in that direction, we're not going to price it out.
Yeah, but it's hard to make that decision without knowing what the price is. Can we get a price on that?
Well, I've never gotten the perception from the council that the concern was the cost.
Well, I mean,
It had to do
obviously, the
with
council would
environment
want the
and
public
formal,
to
less
see the
formal.
important work that they're doing back there in conference meetings. So, I mean, can we get a pricing on it, Mr. Mayor?
Just, I think what Barry's saying is that the council, he's going to be directed to look into
Yeah, I
something
mean,
if the
certainly we can
council
get a
is
price,
leaning
but
that
I'm not
way.
going to make anybody go through giving us price. And you've been certainly privy to the conversations. I don't think any of the council members have ever expressed that cost was the concern. I think there's been repeatedly that there's an informal, more around the table, back and forth nature of that
But that's where
meeting.
all the good deliberation is done. Why are we not exposing that to the public?
Justin, just so everyone on Facebook and TV, Everyone's invited to come to this conference room right here.
But
It's an
all they see
open
is the
door.
pomp and
It's an
circumstance
open
here.
door, Justin.
I understand that, but the
Yeah.
public is out there. They're actually watch
Not a
this.
back room, it's
And
not
it
locked,
wouldn't
it's
cost
right
much
here.
money. It wouldn't cost much to do. Why don't we broadcast that so people can see the deliberations?
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Any other public comment?
Motion to close public comment?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
But I just want to, so with the new development that Justin's talking about and some of the other ones, Marianne will be good for your business as well. So some of that money will stay into town, and we're going to get new customers for the Ritz Diner and for other establishments as well. So it does, so the money will, some of the money will be staying in town, not flowing out of town.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Okay, no other public comment? Okay, you want to close it? Close the public, you close it? That was you commenting, okay. Reports of township officials and council members. Ann?
Nothing to report, thanks.
Nothing to report? Okay, thank you, Ann. Adam?
Nothing at this time.
All right, cool. Barry?
Just briefly, and we did address it in the conference meeting, but I think for the benefit of the public, we did go out to refinance some of our long-term and short-term debt, got extremely favorable rates, which is based on the sound financial standing of the community. So again, I think the public should be aware of that. Certainly recognize our CFO, Ann Cucci, our financial advisor, Phoenix, our auditors, Samuel Klein, our bond counsel, and it's just, I think it's a credit to the overall team and the council and the prudence with which you've governed the town that put us in a position to get those rates. So that was the only report I had.
Great. Thank you, Barry, and thank you, Ann. We heard the shout out, and I think all of us, kudos to you and the team. Thank you. Russ?
Nothing for tonight. Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks. Jared, Counselor?
Nothing for tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Carolyn?
Nothing for me either, thank you.
All right, this is great. Caden?
Thank you, Mayor. I think a couple of shout outs for what we achieved. I think first it goes again, what an awesome celebration of a fantastic business in town. That's Ritz Diner. So amazing to have them getting honored. I think last couple of weeks we have seen a few very good events, and I would love to mention them here. We had cricket batting cages open. All of us were there. It was a very live event, and a ton of players showed up, and it was wonderful to see that. Like the way we celebrated Little League investment, there was a good investment in cricket as well. So all in all, great work in town for sports. Kudos to you, Pat, for leading up the Little League historical. I mean, you have the names, your name on the Little League fields, and we have some good stuff going on the other ball game as well. We had a very good grand opening of Joy Dew. I know it wasn't really a ribbon cutting or anything, but there's a fantastic new business that opened up, and I want to really give a shout out to them because that is a business which supports, it's a nonprofit, supports the adults now who are needing care, special needs kids that has graduated from their childhood into adulthood, and the Medicaid, the support from government dries out. How do the parents really support, and how those adults support themselves? What a wonderful business that is, and I hate to call it business, but it is sort of a balancing out act there. LACD holiday party was fantastic, and probably the cherry on top was Camuso's holiday opening. Loved to be there. I think Michael, yourself, Al, I was there, but it was great to have, all in all, a wonderful opening there, and really looking forward to see a new grocery opening later this week. Lidl grand opening, right?
It's really happening.
Really looking forward to that, and of course, my volunteering on the Camuso display. Look forward to being an elf there, and I'm thinking I'm going to see a lot of residents, and looking forward to saying hi and hello to them. That's all from me, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Caden. Michael?
Thank you, Mayor. Again, Pat, congratulations, and thank you for everything that you do for this community, from baseball to to the first aid, to Camuso, to everything. You have your hands in everything. So thank you very much. And also, again, thank you to your entire baseball team that you put together. So again, thank you. I want to recognize two people in the audience right now from the Arts Council. The Arts Council is one of those committees that I sit on that's very near and dear to my heart. Barbara Sachs and Hugh Mahone. I think everybody knows you as an art teacher, but we know you, Kate and I know you as the artistic elf from the Camuso display. So thank you very much. Thank you for always coming to our meetings and making sure that the Arts Council is being heard. With the Camuso, I just want to thank all of the elves. As Councilman Butani had said, we had a great grand opening on Saturday. It was fantastic. That could not have happened with every single elf working, carrying the figurines, decorating the trees, and led by our chief elf, Tom Cooney, along with our artistic elf, Hugh Mahone. But some of the dates that are on the agenda right now is the LACD is having, I believe, a Christmas celebration or a holiday celebration on the 13th of December at 4:30. We have Unico with Santa coming on Saturday, December 14th at 7 o'clock. We have Hot Chocolate with a police officer on December 18th at 6:30. We have the first responders having an event at the Camuso on December 21st at 6:30. And we have a menorah lighting on December 26th at 5 o'clock. As Councilman Butani also mentioned, on Wednesday, the long-awaited grand opening of Lidl. I believe it's 7:20, 7:15 in the morning. Or let's call it 7:30-ish. Doors open at 8 for Lidl on Wednesday. Last thing I want to mention is congratulations to my friend Scott Foster, who became the worshipful master of the Masons during his installation this past Saturday. So congratulations, Scott. Mayor, that's all I have. Thank you.
First of all, it's great to hear Michael's list on all the community groups that use Camuso to celebrate the community, right? Like people have different nights at Camuso in order to use the actual beauty of it and warmth of it to celebrate their own organization. So I just think it's really a nice meshing there. I do want to just point out that Hugh, I have not missed an opening for Camuso in a long time. I had emergency surgery. It was the only reason why I wasn't there that night, because it's been probably 15 years since I've missed the opening of a Camuso. Thank you. I especially want to say I know what a good job you do because you were my high school art teacher, and thank you for that. I wouldn't say I'm artistic because of it. I wish I was.
And what if I told you that I would take all of the credit, but none of the blame?
So I know what a good job that you do, and Hugh, I know how much, Barbara, how much you guys mean to the community, and how much you care about the community, and thank you so much for being here and all the work that you do every year as part of that, and to all the elves. Thank you so much. I wanted to give a huge shout out to the National K-12 Chess Champions, Livingston High School. The entire Livingston LHS chess team is a co-champion in the nation. It's a second year in a row I think they've done it. It's unbelievable. This is a young program, but there have been a few people in town who have stepped up to lead our chess team and to create a culture of chess in this town. And the levels that we're seeing, we are literally the best in the country. It is unbelievable how far that program has accelerated. I wanted to give a hats off, another one to Jared Fisk, who's had so many incredible accomplishments. So Jared Fisk was just named, he was a high school star for us just a couple years ago, and now he's a junior at Vassar, and he was just named to a third-team All-American soccer player for Division III. It's incredible, and the entire Fisk family and all of our surrounding friends are very excited for him. The last thing I was going to mention, we talked about Lytle, is the cricket cages. I just think that was a really wonderful and warm event. It was a freezing morning, and it was early in the morning, and there were a lot of people that came out for the ceremony of opening up those cages. It's just really exciting how people in the community are excited by this and thrilled to have these resources, and we know that we're doing good things when we see that kind of enthusiasm, so it's really special. That's all I have. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Sean. Edward?
All right, I'll just ditto everyone because there was a big list of people, so I'm not going to repeat it. But Pat Ippolito, it's been a long time, and thank you for everything. The memories that my son and daughter have playing on those fields will live for a lifetime, and I know you had a lot to do with those memories that they still have and still talk about. So thank you very much. It's a great honor to be associated with you. I also just take a second. I was invited along with the mayor yesterday to light the tree at the Full Gospel Church, and it was just nice. It was nice to stand with people. Though I don't celebrate Christmas, I really enjoyed singing the carols and being part of the community. And like I mentioned to some of the parishioners there, I wish the rest of the world would do what we do here in Livingston and make this place a lot better, make the world a lot better, standing side by side with your neighbors. So I just wanted to point that out. And I did miss a lot of the activities this past weekend. I'm going to give a big shout out. I had the honor to watch my daughter present for 3 hours at the National Social Workers Convention in Orlando, a 3-hour presentation on the prevention of teen suicide. It was a rough topic at times, but very proud of my daughter. And I will give a shout out, Mr. Mahon, I give a shout out to all the educators here at Livingston High School where she got her start from. Without the educators that she experienced through her years, starting in kindergarten, through high school, and on to college and her master's program, she would not be able to present such an important topic in today's age. So it was a very warming feeling for all of us to be there. So I just want to thank all the educators who have made her life possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. Okay, again, congrats to the Ritz, and thank you, Pat, for coming here and providing that proclamation. And other Pat, yeah, we've known each other for years and years, and what you do in Little League is amazing, and you're the consummate volunteer. And little known fact, on the first aid squad, you saved my daughter's life, I believe, when she with 3 older brothers eating sunflower seeds, and she was choking on a sunflower seed. You helped dislodge it. It's just another testament to how great a person you are. So thank you so much for everything you do. And Yui, as the chief elf calls you, I got to see in action the other day, and thank you for all you do, both of you, with Camuso. That is really, we did the countdown. It was an honor to be counting it down with the elves the other night. And what I said, I really meant that I think of us as a volunteer town, the best volunteer town in New Jersey and America, of course. And I just, to look at that across from here, right outside from Town Hall, and it's just a constant reminder of the community we live in, and that's all volunteer work. I could think of no better place than to look at it right there in the center of our town. That it's amazing. And yeah, I got to be an elf a little bit, and it was fun helping you guys out. So thank you so much. Camuso just gets bigger and better every year, and it's just, the elves are amazing. Cricket, the batting cages, that was great. Loads of practice time now at the cages, and everyone will keep getting better in cricket as well. I want to thank the high school for inviting me to speak at American Enterprise Day to the future business leaders of America. It was really fun, and each class had at least, we had about 75 or so people, kids who, tough crowd. I asked how many want to be a lawyer. 3 out of 75 raised their hand. Most wanted to go into finance. And the guy who spoke before me from J.P. Morgan, he was there were way more questions for him on crypto and everything else, and not many for the lawyer, but it was good. I think Jacob Glazer, who appeared here with the pedestrian lights, said maybe we converted a few, who knows, to go into law. Anyway, we had the grand opening of Joy Do. We are going to have ribbon cutting this week, but it was an informal tour there. Great program for adults with autism, and they have about 40 stations there where you could work from there. They contract with big companies, and the workers could go there and be centrally located rather than needing to travel to where the contractor's business actually is. I want to, the LACD holiday party was fantastic as usual. Congratulations to Scott Foster on the installation at the Masons dinner. What else? The same thing, I guess as mayor, you got to repeat a few of these. Full Gospel Church had tree lighting. It was their first tree lighting, so that was really nice. It was outside. It wasn't as cold as the Camuso night, so that was nice. And they sang, and actually Ed sounded pretty good. I think he was leading everyone in the "Oh Come Ye Faithful" and all the Christian songs, actually.
Because they were nice when they supplied the words on a piece of paper, so I was able to sing.
They had the
So,
words.
yes.
We had our phone flashlights out, and Ed was belting them out. I mean, he was terrific. And Lidl is opening. Yes, that's true. It's on their websites. It's on Facebook, and that is approximately 7:40 in the morning, Wednesday, with the doors opening at 8 a.m. And I think that may be it. Oh, terrific dinner. The Bell and Siren, who you've probably heard me mention a few times, who came and supplied all our first responders with food, hot chocolate, drinks during the Great Wildfire of 2024 with a big, huge mobile van. They had a nice dinner, and they celebrated their 75th anniversary, so another shout out to the Bell and Siren. And I learn more about them all the time. I admitted I didn't know anything about them coming into this year, that the president, vice president, and secretary all live in our town, Tom Palea, Ira Cohen, and Spencer Palmer. And a shout out to all of those three for a great organization and on their 75th anniversary and a beautiful dinner. I think that's it. Sean covered it. Congrats to the chess team. We just have a phenomenal chess team as Ina walks in here of Chess and Bagels. And yes, and there are a bunch of people that helped advocate and help our kids, and we're the best in the nation, so that's really nice to see. I think that's it. Does anyone else have anything to add? I think I covered
Mayor,
everything.
I
Yes,
guess,
Jared.
Mr. Lewis, we're going to close tonight?
One closed session, contract negotiations, Harvest Lane.
So we'll be passing one resolution in conference to go into closed. That'll be the only action taken by this council following this meeting.
Okay. And we will go back into conference, continuation of conference right now.
Close-
Anything-
Right, closed after conference.
And then close after conference. Okay, anything else? All right, we're going back into conference. Our open door conference. Thank you, Jess.